Hey, Red. We're not gonna get away with this, are we?
Get ready for this isometric Blade Runner. I'm the Flannel Fox Tim Swernick, and I reviewed Transistor on the Nintendo Switch. Originally released in 2014 from Bastion Empire creator Supergiant is the sci-fi action RPG Transistor, which has now crashed its way onto the Nintendo Switch. You play as Red, a singer whom in the beginning is on the ground kneeling next to a man impaled by a huge blade known as the Transistor. While the man is dead, his soul and voice have been absorbed by the blade, allowing him to speak to Red throughout the game, narrating it.
What was that?
It has also absorbed Red's voice, leaving her a mute. Red is burdened by this enormous sword, so large that when she's walking around, it drags behind her on the ground. Yet she needs it to survive. For the city she lives in, Cloudbank, has been overrun by a robotic army known as the Process. The world of Cloudbank is a beautiful one. Viewed from an isometric perspective is a stunning Art Deco world elevated with a sci-fi touch of being in the sky and overgrown with foliage as it has been deserted. The lighting and atmosphere in Cloudbank gives it a rich, nostalgic feeling that when walking miles above the ground with futuristic buildings in the distance, you still feel like this happened a long time ago in a place that you've been before, making your journey into the unknown a little less frightening. The combat system in Transistor is incredibly unique. As you play through, you gain new powers or functions that can be mapped to one of the 4 face buttons. Crashing your huge sword, shooting energy beams across the screen, or lobbing grenades at your foes to survive that much longer in this harsh environment. While in typical action RPG fashion, you can run around in real time trying to even the battlefield, but you will quickly find yourself pushing up daisies. Fortunately, Red has the ability to stop time, map out her actions carefully, then execute them, bringing you the forethought of turn-based combat in an action setting. After you use this tool, you scramble around the level trying to dodge incoming attacks until your time stop ability recharges. This is the most dangerous time for Red, as she moves quite slow and her dash ability isn't all that great. Eventually, I began ending my time stopping attacks with an invisibility function that kept me hidden long enough for my time stop to recharge. After hours in-game, I found myself heavily relying on the time stop ability, but playing real-time has its benefits. For example, your attacks don't have to recharge. So if you have a powerful attack, you can spam it, destroying the robotic enemy hordes, if you can keep out of the line of fire. Each function or power that you pick up along the way can be unequipped and swapped for another, or you can use one function to upgrade another. For example, Breach, an attack that shoots an energy beam, can be used to upgrade my Sword Crash, increasing its range and speed. Given the fact that you can swap these functions in absolutely any order gives you a huge amount of combat customization, helping you find the perfect loadout for your playstyle. Unfortunately for me, the combat began feeling incredibly repetitive after the first couple of hours. Seeing a lot of the same enemies in the exact same situations, a battle in the beginning is very similar to battles later on. Heightened by the fact that the real-time combat feels so good, I wish that there were functions to help you better adapt that playstyle. This game runs great on the Nintendo Switch, handheld or docked. I didn't have any hiccups, and it certainly looks fantastic in handheld mode. If playing on a commute, headphones are a must, as the narrator and background music contribute so much to the story that you won't want to miss it.
When you speak, I hear silence. Every word a defiance.
Transistor is a beautiful game with an incredibly interesting story that will reward you if you stick it out. Unfortunately, the combat system was a low point for me. Even with the amazing amount of customization allowed, typically I want to play a game for the moment-to-moment gameplay, not the story. But with Transistor, this was the opposite. Watching Red's story come to the conclusion was a real driver for me, not slaying gaggles of repetitive robot foes, which in my opinion keeps this good game from being a great game. That's why I'm giving Transistor on the Nintendo Switch a 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video game review, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Flannel Fox. Follow me on Metacritic and Twitter at The Flannel Fox, and on Instagram at The Flannel Fox Gamer. Be sure to follow and subscribe, because the more followers and subscribers I get, the more codes I get, which means I make more videos. I'd like to thank Supergiant Games for providing me with this review copy. Thank you for watching my videos, and as always, see you next time, Switchers.